Party people in the place to be, live from 58 Dream Street. We're James with Games. Happy Sunday, everybody. Thedev, hello, but everybody else too. Hope everyone's having a happy Sunday. My Sunday is going quite well so far. Starting much later than usual because there was a big professional wrestling event today, and Danielle and I wanted to watch it, and it took place in the UK. So, evening show for them, but it started at, the pre-show went on at 1 here, so we watched that all afternoon. It was a good show. And now, I didn't want to just take the week off, because we're on the cusp of exciting new stuff. In Quest for Glory, Shadows of Darkness. Had to start over, of course, but I think even with this being a definitely much briefer session than I would typically do. I don't know, I say that a lot and then don't deliver, but this is definitely going to be a shorter one. But even with the shorter one, I think that we can, I think I can achieve everything that I had achieved, or at least almost all of it. PJ, welcome. I think I can achieve most of what I had achieved before in my previous playthrough and some new stuff. And just set the stage for whatever comes next, which I'm excited to find out about. It was, it's definitely frustrating hitting an unwinnable state, but we got back on track here relatively quickly. I've done things that I did not even do in my first go, mainly, especially meeting the Domovoi related things. I've also learned how to capture the wisps. I think I'm down near Baba Yaga's, but I guess I can find that out for sure by walking south. Yes. Great. So, right now, I have the rehydrating solution that I can use to help the dried out Domovoi in the monastery. So that's an all new thing. Did not achieve that in the first playthrough because the game breaking bug that I triggered was the Domovoi bug. Can't ever start the Domovoi quest if the non-dehydrated Domovoi of the inn will never spawn. But he spawned. I've met him. Nice guy. I like him. As you can see, I've got the good humor bar, so I can get Punny Bones back on track. I've had my important meeting with the travelers, and so thanks to that, I can also start the Rusalka questline, or move it forwards. I've started it because I've already... danger. No, never mind, not danger. Just a good chance for the hero to stretch out. Wow. Poor rabbit didn't even manage to pull off his normal dodge attempt. Oh, whoops, Arana's garden. No need to be here right now. I should find out what time it is. Get a sense of how much more daytime stuff I can reasonably hope to squeeze in here. Oh, it's nice and early. Great. He tried his best. It's just that his best wasn't even as good as the average rabbit, who usually managed to pull off some cool dodge moves right at the end. He's not as talented as the average rabbit, and the average rabbit actually also ultimately gets slaughtered. I'm not sure when I last went to the cemetery and looked at the tombstones, and I'm not sure because we don't have a text parser, so I can't just say her name, Elyssa. Boom. Sorry, Mr. Rhys Davies, but I already know this information. Yep. I've dwelt on this information a lot. Yeah, you know what? He's probably all like, he's really struggling just to hold it together. to avoid bursting into flames. And I can also, I believe, do more with Leshy here. I'm actually not sure about that. I can't remember what trivia question of his I'm on. But we can figure that out fairly quickly. We gotta go through this shit. But once this is done, it will not take long to find out if we are unable to guess Leshy's next thing. And then I'll head down to Rusalka. That ought to kill most of the day. And then we'll come back. Maybe, just maybe, we could have an encounter with Katrina. Hey, Leshy. Or
10
Leshy.
and 12 make 22. This killer plant will crawl to you. Hungry, hunting, seeking food. A very
Oh, I know the answer to this. Not only do I know, but more importantly, the hero knows. Ta-da! Puzzle points secured.
Riddles, 3, 2, 1. Next one, and my riddling's done.
Great news. Great news, buddy. Alright, well, can't remember what happens with this last one. I know that this... I know because I did this in the dead attempt, that it doesn't culminate in anything all that exciting, but might as well get done with it, get it over with, and gain as many puzzle points as I can in the attempt. I spent so much time in the first playthrough thinking there was some trick to this, when it turns out just you don't have to make any effort to catch him, just go and touch the bushes that he's near. It's not the most exciting puzzle in the game, but at the same time, when you solve it, on the other side of it isn't a weird necrophiliac saying gross things that make you uncomfortable. So, you know, there's a case to be made for either approach, I guess.
5 from 15 leaves you 10. Find the heart scroll in its den. Its hidden hoard revealed at night. What's this undead? You must fight.
Ah, great question. Great question, Leshy. Oh, he said something with the heart ritual. What's up with that? Gotta remind myself which clue the heart ritual is. At any rate, it's a wraith, of course.
I'm almost out of riddles. I'll ask you nothing more, but come back in a while just to see what I've in store.
Well, we're done with him for today. I think forever. Because what I think I remember is just that there's nothing really on the other side of this. Oh, wanted to look at my notes for what the heart ritual clue is. The heart ritual should be given to someone named Gregor for safekeeping. Now it's something in its den. And then the answer to the riddle was the wraith. Does one of the wraiths have the heart ritual? Because all signs point to this Gregor, who was originally entrusted with the heart ritual, being dead. Okay. If I'm correct about where I am, I should be going into a four-way, which is right near the not completely north to south dividing line between the two segments. So then, if I go south, and then west, all the way west, I should arrive where I want to be. At the Rusalka. I guess I gotta make a point of slaying all of the wraiths that are hidden around. I know I've defeated some of them, but some of the ones I defeated, they're like a huge cash prize. But like many role-playing games, to be fair, like many role-playing games, this is a pretty busted economy.
Have you learned anything while you were gone?
Perhaps more busted than normal. Aha! All right, getting right down to business.
Elyssa.
Yeah, Elyssa.
Yes, that was my name. I'm starting to remember things now.
Janos drowned
I
you.
was going to be married. My fiancé and I came down to the lake for an evening swim. We were skinny dipping, actually. And then he wanted to, well, you know, but I wouldn't. So he drowned me. He always did have a low frustration point. That's how I became a Rusalka.
Dreadful stuff, dear. Poor Elyssa. But hello.
So what else did you learn about healing me? I am kind of curious.
Oh, plenty.
You're going to sweep the grave of my fiancé with
Yes.
my hair in a broom? Won't that make him mad or something? You'd better be careful.
That's all right.
He had a
I'll be.
nasty temper, remember?
Well, so I can have the hair, is what you're saying?
You want some of my hair?
Yes, please.
Sure. Here, I've got plenty of it. How do you think I'd look with short hair?
Like a scary monster in a lake. So you're skinny dipping?
I guess I've been skinny dipping ever since.
Huh.
Join me?
No. It's just the drowning thing, right? I don't think you could stop yourself. I don't think you could help yourself. This fiancé of yours.
You know, I can't even remember the jerk's name.
Janos.
Just as well we didn't get married.
I guess, you know, like a lot of time has passed. She's awfully nonchalant when reflecting on the whole being murdered by her fiancé question. Boom. No JRD line reading for that one. But we've got our broom. It's all coming together. Oh, geez, it's still like the middle of the day. Well, I don't have any more daytime ideas, so I'll walk back, and if the sun hasn't started to set, I'll take multiple naps right outside of town in the hopes that we can run into Katrina, or Aunt Trina, as she may sometimes be known. Because it's very obvious, even if, like, I think some people have mentioned it in the chat, when we were trying to reason out whether I was in the unwinnable state. But it's also reasonably clear, just from the dialogue in the game, that there's supposed to be a second meeting with Katrina, but in the first playthrough, it just never occurred. And I think that's probably downstream of the Domovoi bug, which means maybe getting the Domovoi quest underway initiates the meeting, but maybe it's actually finishing that quest that'll initiate the second meeting. So I'm not going to despair if we don't get to meet Katrina again right now. Well, no sense in not putting up my protection spell.
You cast the protection spell.
And then just practice my frostbite spell.
You all...
Boom. 3 good hits. Whoops. What? Ah! The main thing I wanted to achieve in this fight was not getting poisoned. But I was trying to get fancy and do it melee style, like dodging his fireballs, when I pretty strongly established that the real move is to overwhelm his fireballs with superior fireballs. Ah well, a little poisoned, but you gotta take the good with the bad. Alright, how'd I do for time? Have I worn down the clock? Not really. So let's have the bad kind of nap. The kind of nap where poison is slowly,
After some...
we're gonna sleep it off. Exactly what you're probably not supposed to do with most kinds of slow-acting poisons. What can you do?
After some...
Feeling worse after a couple of solid rests. Alright. Gonna save this Domovoi. Obviously, I have a particular interest in this quest because its failure to even occur previously was what broke my first attempt. Okay, we've almost made it.
After some rest.
This is a long-lasting poison that I'm dealing with. Okay, head up north.
Your protection spell has worn off.
That lasted a pretty long time. Alright, nothing. It's okay, because one thing I've taken the opportunity to do in the second playthrough is train up the hero's climbing skills so that he can climb over the walls this early, so we don't have to worry
After some
pushing it too far. If it's going to be a nighttime meeting with Katrina, I can still try to do that. No, she's not here. That's okay. Like I said, I'm not going to panic because I think that's probably just a thing that comes after the Domovoi. This quest is done. Climb over that gate.
You deftly slip over the gate and into town.
Hell yeah, baby. Look at him go. That was pretty deft.
A shiver of cold comes over you. You sense no danger, but even so, you find yourself afraid.
I'm actually not sure if I can escape back out the same way.
She lies in your
Oh, I'm sorry to, I know, Pieter, if I seem like I'm hurrying you along, I know it's a very important matter. It's just that, you know, you've told me this several times now, and I had a prophetic dream about it, so even by the first time you were telling me it was old news, I knew everything I had to do, I just couldn't spit it out until the special moment arrived. Okay. Don't need to worry about whether Hector's hungry again, because I don't need to get past Hector for what I've come to do.
Push the Dark One sign into the indentation on the door. It fits perfectly.
Instead, we can just leave Hector alone, and we can get down to business with the rehydration solution, which I bet is this one. Yep. Dr. Cranium's patented rehydration solution bears a suspicious resemblance to a flask of ordinary water. If it's just water, that is probably the funniest thing about Dr. Cranium. At any rate.
Very wet, B.I. Very wet and very alive.
Totally alive.
And am I to be alive? Happy thanks I give you.
You're welcome.
Careful you should be. Dangerous there is. Feed the guard or destroy it to find the secret passage down.
Well, thank goodness I have that clue. To think that my previous game... Well, hold on. We still got to go back and talk to the other Domovoi and see what...
You retrieve the Dark One sign from the monastery door, then quickly step away before the Hectopus can react.
How it feels. Okay, so now the question is simple. Can I or can I not go back out over the wall? If I can, I'm going to the graveyard. If I can't, I'm going back to the inn. Let's find out.
The massive gate to this town is securely barred to protect it from...
Okay. I can climb both ways. Multi-talented hero. The magic user who became a paladin. Was misclassed as a fighter along the way, so he got good at throwing things and hitting things. Now, he's even got a little bit of the thief in him. At least climbing deftly around wise. Not great at any kind of sleight of hand or stealing. Okay. Gotta remember to put up the aura. This is a longer lasting poison. Or perhaps...
You feel it?
Well, I guess I can probably deal with 2 of these.
You cast the aura spell.
Put up the aura, and I'm just going to try my best to blast this thing.
You feel it?
Yeah, I can cast faster than it. So when it doesn't have its slowly drain my health ability, it's at a great disadvantage. Trying to see if there's any spell that's more or less effective. I think it's just my fireball is more effective. I don't know that that's any kind of elemental weakness of this Wraith. I think it's probably exclusively the spell rating. It's the spell I've cast the most because it's my combat spell since the very first game. But this is not the time to mess around worrying about training up your skills.
The Wraith vanishes into nothingness, and the air slowly begins to regain some warmth.
I think it's pretty much guaranteed that this one is, if there is a Wraith that has the heart ritual, it's not this one.
The Wraith collected while it was alive, or perhaps more recently from treasure seekers less fortunate than you. You find a jewel-studded tiara, 6 gold crowns, 40 kopecks, and a few old bones.
Oh, good that I found bones. We'll be using those to bribe Baba Yaga next time I go by her place. But I also got some jewelry. Is that just like an item that you sell? Because if it is, it seems not super necessary. Okay. Risky business here. Going into this fight because I don't have a ton. Oh wait, but I have the mana fruit. I'll eat the mana fruit.
You feel a surge of power as the magical energy from the fruit releases itself into your system.
Delicious. Okay. Here we go. This is one of the big Wraith fights. Now that it seems like I might also have to slay a Wraith just to get the heart ritual. Poor Gregor. Well, he can't be that poor.
You have entered an eerie, deserted graveyard.
We can't feel that bad for him because he was definitely an evil cultist.
And mysterious lights seem to
but it does kind of sound like he got wraithed.
2 large crypts dominate the cemetery. You have a bad feeling about this place. There doesn't seem to be any immediate danger, but you suspect that death lies among the crypts and tombstones in this place.
Hey, Tashtari. Yes. Hello. But yes, that's one great point. I would definitely prefer the graveyard to be deserted, as far as feeling afraid or not. But then also, yes, I do have a strong suspicion that there's death around these crypts and tombstones. That's another thing. Like, if I was like, oh man, I'm picking up a strong sense of life all over these crypts and underneath these tombstones, that would make me feel better. That would make me feel worse.
You cast the...
Alright, we're aura'd up. I got my grave beaten broom. Janos! Alright, he got a shot off at the very start. But it's tough to make sure you get your key press registered at the right time. My stamina is a bigger threat here than my blasting ability. I gotta like just take some hits to catch my breath here. Okay. And that's the end of Janos.
You have destroyed the untrue lover's ghost and avenged the Rusalka's memory. Nice work if you can get it.
Feels good. Feels great. Feels honorable. Let's check though. Honor. I've gotten better at climbing from hopping that wall, and I'm better at pretty much all of the things I do, which is great. 217 puzzle points on the board. Feeling good about that. Is there anything to pick up?
The gravestone
No.
is cold to the touch. The epitaph is, of course, engraved.
Yeah. I definitely wasn't touching to find out if the epigraph was engraved or just like screen printed on. But thank you for clarifying that. Alright. This is most of what we need to do for our dear Rusalka. Still need to give her a token of the love that she never got to experience in life. Or something along those lines. There is the... Yes, it is of course engraved. And that's fair. Low-hanging fruit as far as graveyard puns go, but... I can hardly hold that against Lorianne. I picked up, looking ahead to the distant future, I picked up Hero U, Rogue to Redemption. The Lorianne and Corey Cole's return to video games Kickstarter project. That from what I can tell was fairly well received and is quite reminiscent without really being a literal, like, you know, spiritual successor. It's not, you know, like when Igarashi made that Bloodstained game. It's just like, okay, yeah, this is Castlevania, but you're not allowed to.
You deftly slip over the gate.
Can't
and
just use
town.
Konami's intellectual property now you don't work for them. Alright. I made it home. Piter is not going to bother me a second time in a single night. See if it's too late to wake Punny Bones.
You hear movement on the other side of the door. After a few minutes, you hear someone removing the bar and unlocking the bolt.
This
on the other side
time,
of the
it's
door.
late enough at night that I'm not like, Nikolai, what the fuck? Because like probably everyone's going to bed. Never mind. Nope. Party's going. Maybe they were really getting into a conversation.
Says the gypsy didn't really kill Igor after all.
Yeah, go
Then
figure.
there's that one about the Easter Bunny.
Wait, you didn't hear? Oh, that foolish gravedigger fell into a grave, and he was trapped by his own gravestone. He's dumber than a styrofoam cup.
Right. It's just lucky for Igor the stranger happened to wander by before he starved to death.
There's very little luck involved.
You
I was
are
investigating
unfortunate
his last
that the
known
stranger
whereabouts.
rescued Igor. He would have burned an innocent man.
I do think that
I still think the
you already
gypsy's
here
a
is a good point.
werewolf.
Well, he's not.
Pay
Again,
the innkeeper for
he is a
your food.
shapeshifter
Thank you for your payment.
who likes to take the form of a wolf, but isn't compelled to do so by the lunar cycle. Please try to put aside your age-old stereotypes. Give the door a knock. Oh, damn it.
Voice from behind the door says,
If you do this when your HP is low enough, can you get killed by it?
Alarm.
That'd be
Hope
funny.
It wasn't too shocking for you.
Did I tell you about the time there was this guy walking into an inn with this big necrotor following him? He goes up to the innkeeper and asks for some stew to eat. The innkeeper looks nervously at the necrotor and asks the man what his pet will eat. And the guy replies, anyone he wants. Not bad, eh?
Yeah,
You hand the gnome the good humor bar.
but try this.
What's this? You trying the old hot pepper bar on me? Hey, I'm the professional, kid. Don't try this at home. Not on a gnome, anyway. Hey, it looks good, though.
He eats the good humor bar.
I could have totally got him with the hot pepper bar.
Not bad. Pretty good, actually. Hey, I feel funny. I mean, really funny. What was that thing?
You tell the gnome about Baba Yaga and the Good Humor Bar.
Yeah?
Thanks, pal. Guess this yuck's on me. This jester just can't thank you too much. You're my hero, Nero. My main man, Stan.
Well, he's recovered his ability to,
I've seen heroes
rhyme
and
words.
you're certainly one of them.
I did actually just save your entire career, your reason for living. Like,
So you got by with a pie, aye?
Yeah.
My. Always knew the way to Baba's heart was through her stomach. Probably someone she ate. You know what they say about
well, I mean,
animals? Always
there were
having a few
bones.
friends
There were definitely
over
human
for dinner.
bones in there. Cedric, welcome. Well, here's the thing. He wasn't gonna. He didn't stop making jokes when he lost his sense of humor. So I don't know that I don't know that giving him his sense of humor back can even increase the rate at which he makes jokes. But all right, so how you feeling, gnome?
I am so happy that it reminds me of the time Dimlit the dwarf came across a magic ring in the bazaar in Shapir. He rubbed it, and lo and behold, out comes a genie. I will grant you 3 wishes, said the genie. Well, for my first wish, I want a purse that's always filled with gold, says Dimlit.
All right.
So shall it be done, said the genie. There before Dimlit appeared a purse. He turned it over, and a pile of gold spilled out on the desert sand. Again and again he turned it over, and more gold covered the ground. Master, you do have 2 more wishes left, said the genie. Oh, that's right, said the dwarf. Well, give me 2 more of these. Let me tell you, I'm every bit as happy as Dimlit was.
I'm not sure actually what you're saying. Are you happy? Or are you like, oh no, I'm stuck being funny again?
You know what they say about humor? If you don't got it, you won't get it. And if you don't get it, I'm sure someone will try to explain it at great length.
Some of the best jokes are only appreciated properly after they've been explained at length.
A flying rumor never has any trouble making a landing. I heard that the shopkeeper's husband left her because she was such a scold.
That's
she
true.
was a person who was quick on the floor. When
Ha.
she wanted his opinion, she gave it to him.
Ha! Yeah, Boris really said, take my wife, please. Right? Anyway, are you gonna write some jokes
Do
tonight?
you know why gnome jokes are so short? So that they won't go over the dwarves' heads. There's no point in telling a dwarf a joke with a double meaning. He won't get either one. Judging from the expression, what you don't know can't hurt you, dwarves are practically invulnerable. Of course, far be it from me to say that all dwarves are just plain dumb. Most are pretty greedy, too. Dwarves get their money the horde way. They won't even spend
What?
the time of day. Dwarves don't care how people treat
Lot
them
of-
as long as they do.
A lot of edgy ethnic humor in your
Of course,
act,
you know
Punny.
what you got when the singing dragon fell into the dwarf mind? A flat miner.
Yeah.
And on that note, let's change the subject.
Can we? Oh man, if that's gonna be your next set, please don't give me a shout out from the stage or anything.
Well, now that I'm back in
Is
the
that
first
your
business,
plan?
it's one more show and I'm back on the road. I'm gonna show these yokels that he who laughs last just didn't get it.
Ha! Good stuff. Good for you. Well, take care, Punny.
Some people spread happiness wherever they go. Others, whenever they go. Fortunately, you are the former. If you was the latter, you'd probably have a few rungs missing.
Yeah, sure. All right.
Before you blow, Joe, I figure I owe you one. I'm gonna let you in on a secret only we gnomes know.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you the ultimate joke.
Ooh, I bet this is
Don't
extremely
flinch, mate.
racist.
This is straight, mate. You tell this one, and whoever hears it is gonna laugh. Really laugh. Can't help it, can't stop it kind of laugh.
Even a dwarf?
Only works once, and should only be used in last resorts, Mort. It's the last laugh, so to speak. The best jest to the west. Yours for the telling.
The gnome tells you a rather silly joke. You find yourself laughing despite yourself.
Why
See what I mean,
does a
Gene?
seagull fly
Tell
over the
this
sea?
joke to a big bad dude that's out
Because if
to
it
get
flew
in,
over the bay, it'd be a bagel.
he's laughing. Use it or lose it. Bye-bye, birdie.
Alright, so I'm thinking that's probably going to come into play specifically to get those goons that we know are in the castle at the bottom of one staircase. I feel like it would be too much of a tonal clash if it worked on Ad Avis. Like, we can't
Unlock the door to your
use
room and go in.
the Monty Python funniest joke in the world to, like, distract the great old one long enough to disrupt the ritual. Okay, well now... Ha! Very nice, Cedric.
After some rest, you feel better.
What time is it? I think... Yeah, okay. My feeling has been that midnight is like high noon, but with the
After
moon.
some rest, you're getting tired.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, you might think, like, boy, how can you be tired? You're having so many naps. It would actually be really rough to be just constantly going to sleep for 1 hour and then being woken up.
You see that the Domovoi is here again.
Is your reward for me maybe a little bit more game-changing than the other ones? No. Hello, buddy.
Oh, good, good. Very, very good. You go bad place,
I
you
did.
come back.
I have.
Oh, very good.
I am. So yeah, I splashed, I think it was just water all over your buddy. Fixed him.
Oh, you did good. Domovoi very happy not to be in very bad place. Domovoi very happy not to be dried up.
Yeah, you did seem happy. Did you want to, like, reward me? I don't want to sound selfish. But, how are you feeling now that I've helped your friend?
Oh, happy am I. You help me. I help. I
Okay,
help you
okay.
help others.
Maybe we're going to find out about this
You
when I
be
ask about help
plenty
next.
Big hero here. Many, many hero things to do.
Oh, there's tons of things. Tons of things. And are you going to help me do at least one of them?
Bad place Domovoi all better now. Bad place Domovoi now live in Burgomeister's place.
Okay.
Maybe good luck to Burgomeister. You help me, then I help you.
Yeah.
You want to be big hero?
Kip-
You want to make many people
I don't want to seem
happy?
impatient here, but holy
you
shit.
want to make friends and influence people?
I'm already doing that,
First,
man.
to
I
be
became a
plenty
prince.
Good hero need to be very, very powerful. If not very skilled,
Yeah.
you die.
Sure.
If not very smart,
Yeah.
you die.
Right.
Oh,
This, you realize this does not count as help, right? You son of a bitch.
Domovoi tells story. Yuri and Bela have daughter Tanya. Lovely daughter. Laughing daughter.
Yeah.
One day, Tanya taken away. All because of doll.
Yeah, no, I've had a dream about this. But maybe you can give me some extra
Tanya,
details.
Sweet, sweet child. Tanya like everyone. Then Bela have dream. Dream Tanya taken away. Bela very scared.
We're supposed to be getting
Let
the
Tanya play
the
outside.
cartoon
Let
Eastern
Tanya
European
have friends.
feel into
Tanya
Bella.
scared of dark. Tanya
I've been
many
calling her
times
Bella to
alone,
make an ass of myself.
back of in dark. One day, monster come. Big, big monster. Friendly monster. He visit Tanya's window. He talk to Tanya. Tanya not afraid of dark. Tanya now have monster friend. One night, Tanya very, very unhappy. So Monster take Tanya away. Monster want to make Tanya happy. Now Tanya gone. Tanya gone to castle.
Well,
No one see Tanya leave. No one see Tanya go. No one but Domovoi. Domovoi tried to stop Tanya, but too late.
so you basically, you've been getting
Tanya
free
already
board
outside with
from
Monster.
Yuri and Bela
No
for your
tell
entire
Yuri.
life.
No tell Yuri.
Or at least for many years.
Tanya need hero. Ha, not dead parents.
And
Only brave.
all you had to do in this
hero.
case was just intervene when you were already awake. You just didn't? Alright, it is what it is. And there was a doll involved, you said.
One night, Tanya get beautiful doll. Tanya not have doll before.
Oh, is this secretly
love
an evil doll?
Very much. Bela very, very scared. Where doll come from? Yuri very, very scared. Who gave doll to Tanya? Take doll away. Make Tanya very, very sad. Bela hide doll in cabinet. You take doll. Tanya love doll. Maybe you
Okay.
love Tanya, hmm? No talk Bela. No show Bela doll. Make Bela very scared. Make Bela very unhappy. You take doll. You take doll to Tanya someday.
Yeah.
Someday you
Okay,
very
yeah.
powerful hero. You take doll to Tanya.
This, my friend, qualifies as helping the cause. Oh, yikes. Oh, man. Oh. Oh, dear. Okay, so he didn't give me the doll, but he told me that it was in a glass case. So it's in the monastery? Or, oh, there's a glass case right here, isn't there? No, that's a window. Oh, no. It's not. Alright, got the doll.
You open the cabinet and see a lovely doll. You carefully remove the elegant doll from the cabinet and store it in your pack.
It's coming together. It's really coming together. Let's catch some Z's. Tomorrow I gotta figure out what else does the Rusalka just.
You unlock the door to your room and go in.
Hopefully she just wants candy. I'll pick up some more candy from Olga. You know, I gave her the flowers this time to win her over in the first place. If the token of the thing that she longed for but could never have in life just turns out that she wanted both flowers and candy at different points from the same lover, who then doesn't also murder her, then I'm ready to deliver.
You
I'm here for
awaken
you,
as the sun
Elyssa.
begins to rise.
Alright. Alright. At any rate, also, probably I can talk to Bela now. We've probably tripped that trigger, although now I gotta be careful. Like, am I gonna have dialogue options that I ought not to choose because they're too upsetting for our poor friends? Maybe Domovoi is just, you know, the kind of singular plural. Doesn't change. At any rate, gratifying to have the Domovoi stuff done. Definitely feels like it's done. I mean, maybe there's another, pardon me, Domovoi questline, but I'm skeptical. I think it's probably not the case. Here's Bella.
It's sausage and peppers fried with garlic.
It has been my custom to sometimes go over to the center of the town and sit by the staff, yes. I fell asleep there the other afternoon, and I had the most wonderful dream. I dreamed my daughter was playing in the flowers, the daffodils, actually. I held her in my arms, and she said that you brought her there.
Me,
She
personally.
said you should visit the staff when night falls. And then the dream faded, and I awoke. Oy, it was so good to hold my child again, even if it was only in a dream. Still, you could try to visit the staff some night. The dream could have been in.
You might think it's weird that she's not moving her lips, but that's why her voice sounds like that. Alright, well, let me tell you, did you know that I'm a paladin? I guess I'm not going to say hello to you, Bela. But did you know I'm a paladin? It's pretty cool.
My grandmother told me about the paladin once. The paladin Piotr came here with Irana. Yeah, in fact, Piotr is supposed to be Dmitri, the Burgomeister's grandfather. Although my grandmother was not very clear about that matter.
Yes, I took down Janos for the second time, so now on this day, I can make my attempt to figure out what the Rusalka wants that will finally free her spirit. Anyway, I've also had tons of
Tell Bela
adventures.
about some of your adventures in Shapir and
Bela.
Tara.
Mordavia certainly needs all the heroes it can get. And it does seem to me like you are the very, very best.
Well, I shouldn't toot my own horn too much, but I did mention that I'm a prince of Prince in Shapir. Rags to riches, it really was. So, Bela. I don't know.
I often have dreams I can see Tanya again. Oh, I know she must be alive somewhere. I can feel
Sort of.
Bela, enough! I am sorry, but Bela cannot accept that our child is dead.
I think she'll have even harder time accepting the real truth.
Yuri, you have given up hope.
We will speak
Then
of this
again.
later, Bela.
Maybe there is no
See
hope.
what's burning in the kitchen.
Tanya
You
must be
if something is burning in the
beautiful,
kitchen,
daughter.
actually, Bela, you
She
probably
was
should
moved
check
away
on
from
it.
here one night 2 years ago, and no one has seen her since.
She is gone forever, Bela.
No, I will never believe that. I know someday she will return,
Me?
and my
I don't know.
dreams will come true.
If we gotta, I don't know what kind of vampire gimmick we need.
My mother
kill the head
used to go
vampire
to
and
the
it
garden or
cures the rest
staff
of them.
whenever she was unhappy. She said that the staff always made her feel safe and warm. I have always felt such feelings there as well, I might add. My grandmother used
You
to
ever
say
grab
that
the staff?
was from the
Hear a
mage
creepy metallic
Irana,
voice in your head?
that it was Irana's final gift to Mordavia when she died. I only know that you should visit there at night sometime. Perhaps you will have a pleasant dream there.
Nah. Of fractions of one. Over the course of several nights, I'll have enough pleasant moments to put together one good dream.
How she was part fairy folk and unearthly beautiful, and she brought kindness and magic wherever she went.
Oh, cool. Cool.
Wives' tales.
I don't know, Yuri. She definitely made a lot of magic gardens, at least.
Somewhere in the forest lies Irana's garden. My grandmother used to visit there sometimes before the woods got too dangerous to travel in. My grandmother told me how very beautiful the garden was, and how it filled her with happiness.
So is Bella's absolutely first line also a Lorianne reading, or was it just a strange reading by the actor?
Outside the town walls.
I know, Yuri. Still, someday I will go there. You'll see.
So, Bella, how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you very much. I just wanted to tell you about my dream because I was certain you
Oh, you have no idea.
Things.
I'm getting great mileage out of this extremely detailed dream I had about this place before I came here.
He does not need to listen to such nonsense.
I don't need to, Yuri, but I have a high communication score for a reason.
Not, Yuri.
Well, both of you. I'm just gonna get up and walk away. Maybe I could say goodbye once I'm standing. No? Alright. Peace. Do I get new dialogue with Dimitri now that he has a Domovoi?
You are always on the go, my friend. Take care.
Hey, no rest for the wicked or the extraordinarily righteous, as it turns out. So how you doing, buddy?
Good to see you.
It's good to see you, too. You're less off-putting than your grandfather. No disrespect to old Pyre. It's just, you know, he appears all, oh, I'm the ghost. Alright, so, yeah, no, it doesn't look like you have anything new to say. I'm going to click through your things anyway.
And I hope that you are also.
I am well, and I'm very glad that you cared to ask.
I know only what legends
really
tell
ask,
them.
but you know what I'm
Undead which drink the blood of the living.
Yep.
We have always had stories of them here. I have never known anyone here to be harmed by a vampire that we know of for certain.
Yeah, well, I guess there might be some technicalities you'll still be able to cling to about the precise nature of harm. If you get eternal life alongside whatever harms are done to you, does it wash out? Completely failed at drinking water just now. Poured it all over myself. But not on my keyboard, so it's all good. Alright. The name of Vuzel ring a
I
bell?
have not spoken of it before, because I know so little. Still, it is very bad luck to speak of it, and the memories of Mordavia are deep.
I have a thought.
They worshipped it in the monastery. That much I know.
I can't do anything about it yet,
The
though.
monastery stayed mostly
But I had a thought
but the townspeople
when I said a Vuzel
feared
just
them.
now.
They said the followers were all like madmen, concealed in robes and speaking in whispers.
Yes, but that is also what normal monks do, and not regular
We heard of the
monsters.
fighting down by the Dark One's cave, of course. No one returned here except for my grandfather. He brought this staff here and said Irana was dead.
So here's my thought.
That is all I know of the matter.
But
I'm
I
sorry
gotta
if I
wait
cannot
until,
help you more. Be
I'll have
careful.
to wait till the night to check it out again, because it's in the monastery. But a Vuzel's name is written, you know, like a circle, and like a clockwise circle, and also every case of the runes of the rituals, the symbols for the rituals that I can find, the order they're displayed in is also clockwise, the order going around the Mad Monk's tomb inscription where there's a puzzle. So maybe where to start isn't hinted by any of the runes. Maybe it starts wherever the A is. Actually, do I even have to... I don't know if I have to wait, because I think the A is around like 9 o'clock or like... It's in the 9 to noon region. So like starting from one of the upper left symbols and going in a loop. I probably have time to check it out in this evening. That'll be gratifying. I wonder if I can indeed acquire the... Oh, you know what? I shouldn't...
You do not need to go looking for trouble. It will always find you. Please take care.
As the king once said, I never looked for trouble, but I never ran. Anyway, Dimitri, I'll say goodbye again.
Take care.
You as well. go work out a little before I head out. You know, I shouldn't just shouldn't let myself go to seed here just because things are going well on an intellectual level. Okay. I'm gonna need to feed Hector again. I'm not sure if I have garlic or not. Obviously, I know where to buy it. Gonna work out.
This is a little too...
Yeah. Oh man. Can't wait to tell Uhura about this next time I'm passing through East Fricana way. No, Uhura, I've been having real problems when I'm working out lately. I just can't seem to get enough weight into those buckets, you know what I'm saying?
Your legs are too stiff and sore to use this right now.
Holy moly, the hero really went for it today. Jeez. Dies of dehydration on the way out the door. You're not. You can't be showing off when you haven't even killed anything, man. What threat was posed to you by those?
One thing you can say about Mordavia is that it is never dull. Be careful out there.
I'm going to, buddy. I hope you don't think I'm rude that I'm not going to engage you in a conversation for the third time today. I'm just going to pop in on Nana Olga here. I did, yes. I didn't just hear that. No, I discovered that.
You mark my words. The man was clearly a werewolf.
No, Nana Olga. He's just a guy who can turn into a wolf at will. He is not bound by the lunar cycle in any way. Hello. Yeah, haven't been eaten. Yep.
Tell Olga about what you've been doing in Mordavia.
She never cares about the specifics. I will. I'll keep you informed. Anyway, I'd like to buy some stuff, Nana Olga, just to be safe. Some garlic. Maybe a couple of cloves there. Make sure I have some candy. Definitely have all the other things. Wonder if there'll ever be a use for the shopping bag, or is the shopping bag specific to another class's thing? Oh, jeez. That was rude of me.
All your travels lead somewhere.
Goodbye, Nana Olga. I'm sorry for being rude, but I'm just so tired. Just gonna take a standing nap here.
After some rest, you feel better.
Okay, there. Feeling better. Ready to get out there. Is there anything relevant I can do in the daytime? I can... Oh yeah, pop in on Baba Yaga again. That's definitely something we can do. While the sun still shines. So, okay. Oh, right. And swing back by the our pal Lishi. So, speaking of games that have Lishis in them, I did just complete at least the main quest of Inscription yesterday in my Inscription playthrough. God damn it, Lishi.
It doesn't budge.
Oh, wait. Wait. What's all this now?
Gotcha.
Okay.
Lishi, riddle's done. Thank you much for all the fun.
What the hell, man? Did he smuggle something into my pack? No. For a second, I was like, hey, he put a little crumpled copy of my own body after being leapt on by the bushes. But no. That's not what was happening there. Okay. Head down old Baba Yaga way. Oh! PJ, you asked if the room looked any different to me, and I did not go back and check. But I'll check. In the fullness of time, I will get that check in. For now, just due east. Katrina meeting might be back on the menu now, which is cool. Very nice to see it's not a Necrotor, since I'm a little tired. A little worn out from my extraordinarily, really, if you have a full day of adventuring in dangerous territory planned, you don't need to turn it up to 11 in the gym. Just do enough cardio and dynamic stretching to get yourself loosened up. You'll get your real exercise by all those down swings at the bunnies in the forest. Alright, here we are. Open bush. Ta-da. Hey, has anything happened to my puzzle points since 217? Yeah, 232. Very nice.
Every sense tingles with the feeling of danger. The eye sockets of the skulls glow with deadly energy. Even the hut looks hungry.
I didn't bring any corn, so it's not that hungry. Alright. Throw in a save. Ah. Delete. 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 Do a few more. Few more. Hopefully, next time I'm around the swamp area at night, I can catch the wisps, shine them on the same squid pillar, and then just have it let me find the ritual because the hero knows it's there, right? That or I need to figure out something more. Time will tell. T for 2 and 2 for T. Alright.
No one's...
Well.
Hey, if you and Baba got something going on the side that I don't know about...
No. Really only the things you do know about. How is Baba Yaga, by the way?
Go on in and find out for yourself.
For better or worse, that's what I'm gonna do, buddy. You take care.
Be seeing ya.
I hope so. I hope so. But I guess we'll find out together, buddy.
You feel a sense of wariness and more than a little hunger. Baba Yaga speaks out loud.
That's so true. Glue his shoes.
You find your feet stuck again to the floor.
Baba Yaga. Do we not know each other well enough by now that we can do this without the shoe glue?
Cookie face. I hope for your sake you brought us something to eat. After all, there's always room for hero.
Yeah. Jeez. Did Punny Bones share some of the leftover good humor bar with you, Baba Yaga? Because that was great. That was great. Want these bones I found? Wraith bones.
I could use these to make a good bone soup.
Either Wraith they might be Wraith victim
So
bones.
what do you want for this, Cookie?
Well, that's a great question. Do you happen to know?
You asked Baba Yaga about a Dark One ritual.
So, you heard about that, huh? I found it in the hangman's tree some years ago.
Being reminded, I did get this one on the first playthrough, but being reminded specifically, like associating it closely with
its main purpose is to bring
yeah. That's not actually what I'm planning. As you might not be surprised to hear.
Wizards could use it to send the Dark One back to its world.
Well, I know a few.
You don't qualify as a very powerful wizard as I see it.
In that case, could I ask you to just come along with me?
Put the ritual away in your pack.
But yeah, experiencing this so close to finishing up the Leshy stuff reminds me, that we have more than a few. At least we have at least one example, I should say, of. No, I got more than one. Elyssa too. What the hero knows becomes relevant to a lot of things, and here it was directly relevant to a ritual plot. So maybe this does in fact mean that getting the wisps and going back shining on the squid is all I gotta do.
Be seeing ya.
You will. You will. I hope that Baba Yaga can be sated with Wraith Bones a third time. Because I am curious what this spell she could maybe teach me. Alright. Once again, I got 2 rituals. Which ones? I have... well, whichever one I just got that isn't named in the clue. And I have the blood ritual, which you get just by drinking the hallucination drink. Yeah, the blood ritual and the breath ritual. Cool. Just mentally picturing the Mad Monk's basement. I think the A for a Vuzel is just above the 9 o'clock position. I want the gratifications as soon as possible, if I'm right. So I don't want to wait for night. Even though it's going to be very frustrating. If I go and I try it and I'm like, this is not working. And then I go, finally, bite the bullet, go to the Mad Monk's place, and discover that actually the A is very clearly in the 4 o'clock position or something. Alright, it's never... Oh, I was going to say, it's never a bunny when they take this long to appear. But hey, sometimes it just all comes together. He's trying to pull the old rope-a-dope right now. Whoa. Just knocked him out with the flat of the sword to the back of the head. I feel like if a Wraith actually does have one of the rituals, it's going to be the Wraith that's in that little... All the way to the east, there are those 2 screens that form a little, like, elbow piece. That has no purpose in the daytime and then just houses a Wraith at night. Where is this? I don't know. Hold on. Okay. No, I said okay. I'm actually not. I've actually bewildered about where hopefully I'm about to go into the... No? I really don't know. Oh, okay. This feels like directly north of the Rusalka. No, one of the swamp places. Well, you know what? Rusalka will be there in the daytime. Let's go for a glide on the swamp and just test this theory out. Sure will feel gratified if this works. Now, I did write down somewhere the combination of directions that I went in. Oh no, I've even added it to the map. However, oh man, it's so easy to lose the glide spell. Yeah, I added it to the map, the route to get to the grave, but then in-game dialogue is pretty strongly hinted that the Rusalka's dialogue kind of suggests that, yeah, any amount of moves brings you here.
There is a great evil about this place.
Well, let's get the protection spell up. Oh, I can't. All right.
He'd as soon kill you as touch.
I'm not trying to touch him. I want to kill him. Glide over there and kill his ass. Why would you come over here? I'm a sword fighter. Ah. He just tricked me into thinking we were going to do a melee. Fairly clever, but ultimately, man, the fact that you are a vastly less powerful mage than I, that's kind of the determining factor here, don't you think? But this is a solemn killing. No throwing up of the double biceps. Okay.
The Dark One sign clicks into the depression in the stone. You find that you can now turn the sign like a dial.
Okay. So if it's just above 9 o'clock, would it be this one? Let's try. Oh, that's not a symbol. It's not that it's broken. Moment of truth.
Finally, you feel the Dark One sign.
I'm glad I carried on, because I was actually crushed when I clicked the heart and nothing happened.
But readable
But I was on autopilot and I clicked again and it worked.
It is the Dark One's bone ritual. You retrieve the Dark One sign from the monument.
Okay. That is, you know, that's a really good clue to the puzzle. Like, it's lateral. It's lateral enough that, like, many weeks passed between when I encountered this puzzle and when the thought just popped into my mind a few minutes ago. But it's not so lateral that it doesn't actually, like, make perfect sense. Like, once I thought of it, it's like, of course. Of course. Because it explains why would all the hints seem to be saying that it's just do them in order. Well, it's because what else goes clockwise in order? Avuzal's name on the and it's the very his name is spelled around the same symbol too, isn't it? Good stuff. Great stuff. Really great stuff. Ritualistical. All right. Glide back. The hero doesn't feel any kind of pressure to look really cool when he's gliding. Like, you know, like surf a little. Am I just moving with great confidence? Yes, okay. Just moving so quickly and with so much confidence that I wasn't seeing the hands come up. For a moment I thought, maybe it disables the hands. But no. Okay. Saving, because you know if I'm ever going to get caught by a hand on this run, it's going to be right here at the last moment. But no. It's all going well. It's going great. Okay. Well, if you'll excuse me, gotta go on over to my notes and write the word found in all caps next to, ooh, which ritual is it? Because it's one of the ones that I didn't get the name for in the hint. Breath. I already had breath. I already had blood. The bone ritual. Cool. Alright. North 2, West 1. Well, anyway, West until there's no more West to go. Which I think is just 1. We can go see the Rusalka. Hopefully what the Rusalka always was hoping Janos would do for her was show her 3 scraps of some eldritch ritual. Because, baby, I got what you need.
You have a strange, disquieting feeling along with a sense of sorrow, longing, and unfulfilled desires as you near the lake. The briny lake seems to draw you towards.
Well, it's the feeling of unfulfilled desire that I'm most into right now. Oh, God! Oh, God!
I felt you getting rid of my ex-fiancé. Now I feel so strange. What's happening to me? What's going to happen next?
Oh, man. Well, jeez, Elyssa. You look wretched. But, hello.
Hi. Sorry I didn't comb my hair before you got here. I tried, but it kept falling out. Guess I don't look so good, do I?
It's what's on the inside that counts, Elyssa. And from what I can tell, the parts on the inside are looking pretty rough too. Yeah, that is quite a reveal. They give you they certainly don't set it up for you with her sprite. Like there's no little moment where you go, wait a minute, hold on. Alright, so here's how it went. Is what she always wanted in life for some really handsome guy to come and beat the shit out of her shitty fiancé?
I told you he was a jerk. Janos the jerk. I remember he even had bad breath.
Oh, he's a total yerk. But, so, oh God. So how are you feeling? Any unfulfilled desires that don't involve kissing?
I'm kind of nervous. I don't really want to die, I guess.
You're already dead.
Still,
Don't worry about
I
that.
don't really want to hang around drowning people.
You're gonna be way worse. Well, I mean, like,
do or think.
with the element of surprise, you can still be drowning dudes. But that's gonna be a whole different game than you're coming the lake with me. Do you think we should kiss?
You want to kiss me now? Are you sure about this? I mean,
Not at
he's
all.
unlucky to kiss the undead, you know. You could wind up dead or something.
Oh, so we're not going to do it. Okay. Okay. So, the thing she wanted was not a kiss. It's also not enough to just tell her that Janos is dead. Yeah, but does Frankie count as undead in the same way? She's undead through science and not a curse. Also, it's entirely possible that Dr. Cranium's just not into kissing. Want
That's
some
really
candy?
very nice of you, but I've been told that too much candy is bad for you.
Hey, you got your normal face back for a moment. It can't be that bad for you. He's a disgusting fellow. Oh. Did you always hope someone would give you a tiara?
That didn't do anything.
No, of course not. Okay, well... I guess, it's back to the drawing board. For me. But take care for now.
This may be our last goodbye, right? Well, it was nice having a true friend for a while. I'm glad I met you.
There it is.
I guess I'm
there it
afraid
is.
of something. I didn't really want to die again.
You won't die again.
At least I go knowing that there was someone who really cared about me.
Yep.
I'll never forget you.
In a totally platonic way that didn't have to involve any
you.
kissing.
Goodbye.
Okay. Goodbye. Remember me. Like when you're in ghost form. Just normal ghost form. Okay. Alright. Things are going well for the good guys. What time of day is it? It's getting late. So, I'm going to try to meet Katrina again. And then, well, I'm running out of time. I wasn't lying when I said I had to keep this one short. It's the last week, like, this isn't just any work night. But specifically, it's the work night before the last week before classes start. So this is where, like, you know, I've been doing various different planning related things since, like, May. But now I gotta grab all the, like, you know, partially completed ideas and smash them into form. It's gotta all come together. And it will. This is gonna be a good year. But I do need to, like, rest well and stuff if I'm going to be doing it. However, I think we got enough time for a little bit more nighttime exploring. Okay. 3 remaining ritual hints. Placed in the Stone of Squids, only revealed by the light of a dead child's soul. Hey! Awesome! Welcome aboard, PJ. Oh, I gotta fix that animation someday, but it's supposed to look like I'm doing this, but I'm not a very good artist. My instincts were all wrong for how to achieve my vision.
After some rest, you feel better.
Solid 60-minute rest. Oh, no worries. No worries. Happy to have you aboard.
After some rest, you feel better.
Feeling better. Feeling good. Don't know why I'm saving. Like, it's super unlikely I'm going to accidentally sleep through an entire sunset.
After some rest.
Okay. Start trying to meet Katrina for the second time. Because it could be active now. Or maybe I need to collect more rituals to activate her second meeting. I don't know. We'll see what we can do. And then I want to try the gimmick with the wisps. And if I can fit it in...
After some...
The, check out that Wraith over by... Who's coming and putting the candles in all the jack-o'-lanterns? Every night. Is that the last thing that Igor has to do before he shuts up the gates? There's also a Wraith over here, which I suppose I might as well... I think it's in this general area. I guess there's no good reason not to try to find all Wraiths if I'm filled with the suspicion. Oh, hey, buddy. Like, obviously, the arrows of causality don't point in the right direction. But this particular zombie feels like he stepped right out of Earthbound. Like, walked right out of Threed. Like, his music and everything just feels like it's coming from some other place. A different milieu. Okay. Is there another Wraith over here? I think there is. Or not. Oh, we just go south, 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 south. And we'll be in the swamp. We'll lure the souls of the dead children with the candy, but don't worry, folks. We're going to release them before the sun comes up and burns them into the ether. Alright, let's give it a shot. Got the candy.
You carefully place some of the candy on the ground.
Oh, right. Not just doing them a solid.
You capture a few of the will-o-wisps in a flask.
Looks like I captured all of them. I only needed one dead child's soul, but the hero's like... That's probably what they are going for. That definitely makes more sense than it's a chronologically disjointed reference to Earthbound.
When you bring the will-o-wisp near the standing stone, glowing runes appear around a six-pointed image. In the center of the runes, you can now see a small hole in the stone.
I can see the hole. Now, it was gooey last time, and that was what stopped me. Is it still gooey?
It feels strangely squishy and almost alive. You feel unclean after touching the sign.
Well, don't just touch the sign. There's supposed to be a hole. Damn it, man. Okay. Also, I just learned the secret of pushing it over. You should have touched it on the side, not the front.
When you bring the...
Yeah. Small hole, allegedly, in the stone. What could I stick in a hole? That's a good point. If the problem is that the hole is squishy inside, can I just, like, stick my knife in?
You are down to your last dagger. You'd better hold on to it.
Yeah, not with my dagger, at least.
That didn't do it.
Is it a small hole that needs to be lit?
That didn't do...
No. Can I wrap the paper bag around my hand? Okay.
It feels strangely...
Yeah, strangely squishy. Can I slough it off with another...
That didn't...
Yeah. Can I grapple it? Doesn't make any sense.
This is not a good place.
Wish I could just fetch it.
You didn't man... You didn't man...
No. Okay.
When you touch the Dark One sign to
Of course.
the squid stone, the sign locks into place in the small hole. The points of the sign seem to point to 6 of the glowing runes.
Oh. Oh, great. A. V. O. O. Z. O. L.
Try clicking on the letters instead.
I just did. Okay, it's because I
Image
didn't.
of the sign of the Dark One has appeared on the squid stone. When you touch the...
Okay. A. V. O. O. Z. It didn't work with the V though, did it? O. L.
An image of... When you touch the...
Like, it's gotta be a Voozle. Alright. There it is. Yep. No O in Zol. So ironically, I should have gone back to the monastery to check that thing, but not because I needed to look at it to remember where the A was. Okay. A. V. O. O. Z. L. But it didn't light up properly. A. V. O. O. Z. L.
As you complete the name of the Dark One, you feel a distant rumble under the earth, as of the earth shifting, or some unimaginably huge creature stirring in its sleep. Part of the squid stone opens to reveal a small compartment. You reach in to find
Ritual of senses.
covered with mysterious runes. The symbol of the senses at the top is the only part that you can make out. You also retrieve the Dark One sign, which pulls loose from the stone with a slurping, sucking sensation. The hole in the stone closes as you remove the sign.
All right. Sense ritual found without hesitation. Let's release the dead child souls. Let them continue to frolic in the swamp.
You release the will-o-wisps back into the swamp.
Later, kids. Alright. Now. I want to get to that. Wraith. Sorry. Get to that Wraith. I really got a good feeling with this eastern one. So that's what I'm going to try to get first. I think there's a southern one. Then again, I also thought there was a western one. I can't find it. So who knows? Oh.
Feel a chill go through you as you enter this part of the forest.
Well,
as if a
here
cold
we are.
wind suddenly sprang up from nowhere.
Might as well.
You cast the aura spell.
And then run, note, walk. on the way to the east if I have to keep searching. And I do think... I'm pretty sure I actually killed this one too. I'm not positive.
The Wraith vanishes into nothingness, and the air slowly begins to regain some warmth.
Poof.
The barrow contains treasure that the Wraith collected while it was alive, or perhaps more recently from treasure seekers less fortunate than you. You find a dagger, 38 gold crowns, 75 kopecks,
loads of money,
a few old bones.
And I guess the next time I find a weird hole, I will be able to stick my dagger in it just in case. I should get the map up because I want to make sure that I hit Irana's garden. So, one to the east, and then this should be a... Nope. No, I don't actually know exactly where I am. Well, hold on. Yeah! Oh, Cedric, I've been thinking about it, and like... for many of the fights, like the whole gimmick is just overwhelm them with your superior magic. And having to actually like artfully dodge their attacks. I can't imagine. I guess I'll find out one day, because I am going to do a thief run someday. Excellent. Grab a mana fruit.
Your magical lasso.
Delicious.
You feel a surge of power as the magical energy from the fruit releases itself into your system.
Oh, I'm very confident that there's some trick. Yeah, like, one thing with the battle system in this game is it does fall a little flat for the magic user, where really just the way to do it for so many battles is just to overwhelm your foe. Okay, I think it's north one, north the second time. And then to the east.
You feel a chill go through you.
Ooh, a chill. A great chill. Aura up.
Cast the auras.
Love that gentle glow. Alright, Wraith. You've been hoarding a ritual. If you killed dear old Gregor, I'm here to avenge him.
You have just gained the paladin ability to sense the presence of danger.
I have had that ability.
Wraith vanishes into nothingness, and the air slowly begins to regain some warmth.
Yeah, absolutely. Or even just if it felt a little less just like frantic. Like, I think, especially in a game like this, like it wouldn't be a big deal if the action combat system did kind of just resolve to, there's kind of one trick to do for each monster. Or even just, there's 3 tricks depending on your class. That wouldn't be a big deal.
The barrow contains treasure that the Wraith collected while it was alive, or perhaps more recently from treasure seekers less fortunate than you. You find a suit of plate mail armor, a pearl-encrusted goblet, and 25 gold crowns.
Whew.
Your order has evaporated.
Pretty cool. But not what we were hoping to find. So, I think there is a Western Wraith. But I don't have a good plan for dealing with him right now. Let me see. What time is it? Okay. I have a little bit of nighttime.
After some rest, you feel better. You're getting tired.
I am feeling tired. Well, no. You know what? It's good to have a lead to follow up on at the very start next time. And it is close to when I said I wanted to wrap up. So I think, and the hero just, is in no condition to be fighting a third Wraith right now. So I think I'll head to Irana's garden. But this was an achievement dense session. We'll find out exactly how dense in a moment. But I'll do the sleep, experience the dream, and then I've been deferring gratification for a little while on looking at my stat sheet. But we'll look, and it's going to be good. Alright. Grab another mana fruit in the morning when I wake up. And it won't take long to test the remainder of the Wraith theory. I think at most there can only be one.
You float gently in this ocean of harmony. I
Harmonious
remember the happiness
ocean.
of being here before this. Now there is greater joy. You are not alone. You are filled with the warmth of friendship. You share your hopes, your dreams, all the best moments of your life, knowing that here is someone who understands and cares about you.
Feels good.
You reach out to touch your friend, but there is no one there.
Hey, no one's here. Oh no. Does anyone else hear that minor note? No, I guess no one else does.
All alone.
Because I'm all alone. In the dark.
You awaken as the sun begins
Oh, good.
to rise.
Awesome. Okay.
You wake in a cold sweat. You remember every detail of the nightmare as though it had really happened to you.
Hero, come on. Like, listen, I like the company of others too. But it's a little bit codependent if just being alone once is the horrible nightmare. Has the fruit grown?
You fetched the first fruit and basically bagged your limit for the day.
Okay, so it's like a 24-hour fruit growth cycle, not just have a sleep and on the next day it'll be good. Okay. Well, I'm still the Wraith Hunter, so I don't need to come up with a new save game name. I suppose you're never actually obliged to do that. Let's take a look. 240. Feels good. Honorable to the level of 251. Feels great. Unlocked an ability that you unlocked much earlier in the progression system of the previous game, and that was useless in the previous game, and that I bet will not be very useful now. Still feels good. Could be more honorable. Better with a weapon. Much more magical. Smarter. Quicker. More vital. He's a great hero. Okay. Awesome. So, Tuesday, Greg's going to come over and we'll dive back into Double Dragon Gaiden. I'm inclined to say, not that we're done with it forever after this week, but I think I'm going to start banging the gong for continuing our historical exploration of the beat-em-up genre after this week. We'll see how Greg feels, and, pardon me, we'll go from there on Greg and James beat 'em up. Then, well, I definitely want to do more Ogre Battle. So I'm not even halfway through the game. I did it again. I did the thing I said I didn't want to do, which is start a game in the summer as an extra thing that I don't get anywhere close to finishing. Gotta figure out what to do with that. But hopefully I can get some in on Wednesday and or Thursday this week. Probably not Thursday because, once again, Friday Night Frosthaven will be on Thursday this week. So I'll update on that on the schedule soon so everyone sees it. Then it'll be Saturday. I'm gonna check out this Casey's mod and Inscription. Play a little bit of that. If I get the feeling that, like, yeah, there's a lot more for me here right now, then I'll keep doing it. If not, I'm gonna put the brakes on, and I'm kicking around the ideas of, you know what? If I'm putting the brakes on suddenly this Saturday, like I do a bit of Inscription, then I want to start something else right away. It's either going to be more Adventures of Lolo 3, which I've put on the shelf for a couple months. I'm getting so close to the end. Or I'm going to start the King's Quest series. That's what I'm thinking for now. Not sure. I think I'd probably just do the first trilogy to start. At some point, I'm going to want a good party-based RPG, because, like, I'm doing Quest for Glory here. I finished Pool of Radiance a while ago. Obviously, there were parties in Ogre Battle. It's not really the same thing. My summer private game was Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, which you sort of have a party in a sense, but it feels pretty much like a single character RPG. This too, of course. And then from here, I'm going into Ultima Underworld 2 on Sundays when we finish up with Shadows of Darkness. So at some point, I'm probably going to do Dark Sun Shattered Lands just to create a party. But I was thinking some shorter gaming experiences on Saturday might be nice first. That's true. That's true. So I gotta. I'll give it some thought. But I am kind of itching for King's Quest all of a sudden. I don't really know what really caused that. Like, it's been in the back of my mind as the thing I do eventually. And now it feels like the time might be right to at least get started with the series. We shall see. We shall see. And before you know it, it's Sunday again. And I don't think there are any guarantees here. But I do think it's not impossible that next Sunday could see us through. I think the two most likely outcomes next week are either I pull it all off in probably a fairly long session, or in a medium to long session, I get right up to the point where we're clearly at the tipping point, and I say, all right, we'll save that for next time. Which is how it went down with Trial by Fire and Wages of War. So we'll see. But that's where we've been, and that's where we're going. So if you stuck around to the end, thanks for sticking around to the end. If you came and you left, you can't hear my voice, I'm glad you stopped by anyway. So thanks for stopping by. And until the next time, that we all converge on the same weird pile of rocks in the forest. Take care of yourselves, and be kind to everyone you meet.